if reincarnation is a thing, then I'm going to come back as a penguin. Two main reasons. I have big feet and I'm more elegant in the water than on land. But the other reason is because I love penguin love. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. So it turns out that penguins have amazing and interesting love lives. And my favorite penguin couple are chin-strap penguins, just like these guys here. And their names were Roy and Silo. And Roy and Silo became a couple in about 1998 in Central Park Zoo, right here in New York. Aww. And they got super close. They spent a lot of time together. And they started courting. And in case you're wondering what that looks like, I have a video of some closely related penguins here to play you. This is what penguin courtship looks like. So they get like a little cozy. They sidle up a little bit, a little wing touch. It's kind of sweet. It's going to get a little bit more raunchy in a little bit. So as you watch this, Silo and Roy, they engaged in their courtship. Then they engaged in some mounting and some mating behavior. Noah, I'm forgetting, Noah. What do they call it when two birds copulate?
A cloacal kiss.
A cloacal kiss. That's right. It culminated. It's not in the video. Don't worry. It culminated in a beautiful, perfect cloacal kiss. They built a nest.
I really relate to how much of this courtship has them turning their back to one another.
Oh, it's like Rob's lunch all over again. So they built a nest and they waited eagerly for the egg to arrive, and it didn't arrive because Roy and Silo were both males. They couldn't produce an egg, so instead they rolled a rock into their nest and tried to nest that. And the keepers at Central Park Zoo noticed that they were doing this, and they were like, "Okay, maybe these two could be parents." So they gave them a fake egg as like a test drive. Do you know it's much harder if you want to adopt, you have to go through all these hoops, right? So like they had to do a fake egg. And then they proved themselves with a fake egg, and then they finally, the keepers assigned them a real egg from a penguin couple that were not having a lot of success at nesting it, and I still can't find out what that looks like. Anyway, moving on, they raised the chick, and the chick, sweet Tango, was born. This is not a picture of them, it's a picture of two other penguins with a chick, but it was back in 1998.
Before they had cameras.
Before they had cameras.
Yeah, I was going to say, these penguins look like they got a little thickened out by the act of parenting. Which I guess that's something that human parents and penguin parents have in common.
I couldn't possibly comment.
It takes years to get your figure back.
They had to drop the gym membership to pay for the mortgage.
It's tough. It's really tough, being penguin parents. So, they raised Tango, and so inspiring was this beautiful gay love story that it was turned into a children's book. Banned in Florida. In fact, this is one of the most banned books in the USA.
Oh, my God.
It's the future liberals want.
I mean, it might just be because of the relationship they're implying between the man and the horse up there.
I didn't see that before. Disturbing.
Is it possible we've been giving Ron DeSantis too hard of a time?
It is not possible. Okay. No, it is not possible. So
Caveat pulls our show.
No, so before the book was banned, when it first came out in 2005, Roy and Silo had been in a relationship for about 6-7 years at this point. And right after this book came out, they broke up.
Oh.
Yeah, over a girl.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I know. So a new penguin moved from the San Diego Zoo, very exotic, exciting.
California
a bit
girls.
of a West Coast vibe.
homewrecker.
And she paired up with Silo, and Roy was left alone to raise Tango. It's a very sad story. I know.
There's a real lost irony that Silo wasn't left alone.
Oh, God.
And I choked on my own words in a bad joke. All right.
I'd expect nothing less from you, honestly. So having said that, they were actually in good company, Roy and Silo. There were no fewer than 6 other gay penguin couples at Central Park Zoo alone, not to mention other penguin couples that were around. And also they were in such good company because it's estimated that between 1,000 and 1,500 other species also have homosexual love. So why is it that I keep hearing the argument that it's not natural?
Ron DeSantis. You son of a bitch.
Why is it that it isn't better understood and better studied in the animal world? That's my overarching question here. Well, it has been. And way back in the mid-1830s, in 1834, entomologists were hard at work studying insects. And they were
hard at work?
They were hard at work.
Oh.
Studying insects, and they were studying this little guy.
I mean, how could you not look at the sky and be horny?
Yeah. Those are antennae, not horns.
Got those lash extensions.
I mean, he's beautiful. His common names are he's sometimes known as the doodlebug. Anyone else know what the other name for this little guy is? The cockchafer.
Oh.
The cockchafer. So they were one of the first animals to be documented having homosexual sex. So 2 males were documented having sex together. Yay, fantastic. Everybody was talking about it. This guy, whose name I had to write on the slide because
I've
it's
seen
so
this
long.
video before.
This guy, another entomologist in the late 1800s, Henri Gadu de Kerville. I'm sure I'm butchering his name. Doesn't matter. He drew this beautiful, beautiful drawing, realistic, of 2 scarab beetles, both males, having sex together, copulating. Fantastic, right? And he went as far as to opine, to suggest that the insects that were having this homosexual sex actually enjoyed it.
A bold theory.
A bold theory, and sadly, he was ridiculed by his peers. He was kind of told to be quiet, that it had no stock. And one of the reasons that he was told that there was no basis to this theory, after people had been talking about this kind of behavior for like half a decade or more, was because Charles Darwin had published his theory of evolution. And it's kind of in between these 2 times. And in what people were saying is, well, it makes no evolutionary sense. Because in Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, procreation, right, having more babies is the goal. So, it doesn't make any sense for males to be mating with males and females with females. What a ridiculous proposition. And this was called Darwin's... I've forgotten what the name of it is now. It's a paradox, Darwin's paradox. And so really scientists stopped talking about it because they were just getting ridiculed and laughed at and told that they were wrong by their peers all the time. And in fact, the first person to, before I talk about these adorable monkeys, the first person to publish on penguin behavior, really kind of suppressed it. So I think this is from 1914. So 1911, the first homosexual penguin behavior was documented, and he kind of really toned it down and tried to hide it a little bit. But in 1914, this guy, Gilbert Van Tassel Hamilton, I don't know why all the scientists I'm speaking about have really long names. So this guy was studying monkeys. He, don't ask me how, had 20 Japanese macaques in his backyard. And as they did back then. And he observed them having lots of lovely homosexual sex. And he was curious as to why, so he studied their behavior.
So he jumped in.
Did he always...
Did not say. He did not say. That doesn't mean he didn't.
Did he always go to the bathhouse? I mean,
I don't actually know if this is a picture of his actual backyard. I couldn't find his original etchings from 1914, but...
They're all censored.
They're all censored. They're all censored. But what he discovered was that the monkeys were actually using this behavior to diffuse tension in tense situations. So when they encountered a potential enemy, when there was some kind of argument or scuffle, they would resolve it with a nice little bit of homosexual sex. And so he suggested that this was very adaptive for them. And
Could this work at Thanksgiving? Is this I don't...
Banned with your
Banned
family.
in Florida.
I think he could.
you know.
I think he could.
When you have your uncle who you have some tension with, that you're just like, hold the yams, Mom. We got to go diffuse some tension real quick.
We all have that uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, give me those yams.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I'm completely derailed now. Derailed. So
As you were saying.
So then people started to think differently about Darwin's theory of evolution, because Darwin's theory is not a theory of having more offspring. It's a theory of evolution. It suggests that the best thing to do for evolution is the best thing to do. And the best thing to do for evolution, my friends, is be bisexual. It's called the bisexual advantage.
Yeah. Give it
That's
up
right.
for bisexuality.
Woo! Yes, thank you. That was hard
edit-
work,
I'll
but
edit
that's
that.
how it is. Anyway,
I'll edit that so it comes right after you say that. Don't worry, I got you.
we can just do it again if you like. It's called
Okay,
the bisexual advantage. It turns out that being bisexual makes you able to have multiple partners if you want to. Not every bisexual person has multiple partners, okay? Or monkey. It turns out that it actually made animals potentially more adaptive because they had community around them, because they had multiple partners, friends, monkeys, who were whatever members of their species, helping them to raise their young. And of course, the ultimate goal is not just to have young, but to have those young grow up to have more young, and so on and so on. So maybe there's something to this theory after all. I mean, I'm a little biased, but yes, there's something to this theory after all.
You're a little bi.
I'm a little biased. I'm a little biased. There's beautiful bisexual colors behind me. And this, I do want to, I keep saying people actually by mistake in this talk. I don't want to anthropomorphize too much, okay? We can't know if these penguins were gay or bi or queer because we don't know how they identify. We don't even know if they identify as male or female. Some zoos have stopped assigning gender to penguins because, let's face it, they all look the same. And they don't really seem to care. I mean, penguins will fuck a rock if given a chance. So they probably don't care too much about the gender. So I don't want to take this too far, but I do want to come back for a moment to our sad, sad story of our two penguins. So Silo, with his new lady friend, it turns out that Roy met another male penguin friend and had happiness after all. And Tango ended up in a lesbian relationship herself. Oh. So everybody lived happily ever after, and love is love.
Is love. Woo! Woo! Keep it going for Dr. Paula Croxton.